Welcome back to the Paddle and Fin Podcast Network. We're brought to you by Yak Gadget. For all your fine kayak fishing accessories, go to yakgadget.com. Pelican Cases, Coolers, and Lighting. Go to pelican.com. And the 153 Bait Company. For all your hard and soft bait needs, go to the 153anglers.com. Now let's get this show started.
What is up, everybody? Welcome back to the podcast. Welcome back to Off the Water. I'm your host, JP. Today I have a very, very, very special guest coming, a brother from another mother coming from the firehouse, Mr. Patrick Fahrenbach. What's up, Pat?
Hello, everybody. What's up, Jay?
So today, me and Pat, we're going to discuss the decision from last episode of where to go for the honeymoon. And where me and Olivia have decided to go is Door County, Wisconsin, which is a peninsula located just east of Green Bay. And if you guys listen to the Traverse City, Michigan episode, it's pretty similar in features. It's literally just mirrored on the other side of Lake Michigan to what Traverse City would be. And they have the same setup of a peninsula. But the whole reason why Pat's here today is because this man has been going there pretty much his entire life and knows it like the back of his hand. So what better way to have a tour guide of the place you're going to go with someone you work with and live with every third day. So, Pat, welcome to the show, buddy. How are you?
Good, Jay. Thanks for having me. When you mentioned that you guys were thinking about going up there, I know we briefly talked about it before we got down to business at the firehouse, but you could see how excited I got when we were talking about it. So I love that place. It's a great choice of great choice of places to go. Really, I think in the probably entire nation, definitely Wisconsin.
Definitely in Wisconsin. Yeah, I mean, there's a lot of cool places in Wisconsin, and this is one I've never been to, nor has Olivia been to. So we're both ecstatic about it. This is new for us.
Yeah, very good. Yeah. Well, I guess I'll just start by saying how long my family's been going up there. I've been going up there my entire life, so almost 40 years. And then when my ma and her brother and sister were kids and all their cousins and stuff, they were all going up there. So my family's been going up there. God, it's probably 3/4 of a century, maybe. So
that's crazy.
They've probably been going up since, I want to say, the early to mid 70s, maybe even late 60s. So they were up there when it was just a bunch of cabins and not a lot going on.
You told me an interesting story when we were talking before the show about how I believe it was your uncle and another relative were in debates on how cheap that the land was. You want to elaborate on that story and just to kind of give idea where it was at back then and where Door County has come to today?
Yeah. So two of my great uncles when they started going up there, they always talked about it. Every year they would go up, they would see plots of land for sale, and there was not a lot that was built up around the area. We should really buy something. It's a great investment. We come here all the time. We could stay here and we could build something eventually. And lots back then. I think my uncle was saying that there were lots that were $1,500 to $2,000. And they never really pulled the trigger on it. Always talked about it, and then year after year, and generation after generation, slowly you could see the build and how popular the area became. It really blossomed in I'll just say like a mecca in Sister Bay. So that's like a centrally located little town there, which is where we started off staying, and it just boomed from there. So every town has its own little own little thing that it has that makes it special. And everyone loves going to each and every one of these individual towns. You know, and the whole peninsula works well together with each other, and everything is very close to home. Everything is very local. And from the time they started going up there to now, it's just boomed. You know, and tourists flock there. I know that we have actually, you know, now that my family, because I have my wife and 5 kids, we actually had to stop going to the condo we would rent every year. And my family had been renting those condos called Scogland. We've been renting those since the 80s. And finally, we had to move out of those because my family got a little bit too big. And now we rent a house out in Elliot Bay, which is one of my favorite areas to be in, hands down. So,
Cool.
Yeah, they missed out.
I mean, it just goes to show how, especially, you know, for sleepy towns back in the 70s and 80s to where we're at today. I mean, I mean, you talk about one thing that I've seen about the general UP, that's including like the Upper Peninsula, the upper areas of northern Michigan and northern Wisconsin. But when you talk about the birds or the travel birds, then what we mean by that is are people who live south who come to the north for the summer and then flock back down south for the winter. It is, I mean, there's people who are actually working up there who are from South Carolina, who are actually from both Carolinas, from Georgia, Alabama. I mean, it's crazy. And like I said, these were little towns, little bay and fishing towns that, you know, that were just very local. And now it's booming and thriving into one of those hidden gems of the travel industry. You know, so it's crazy to think that, you know, and you could have bought, you know, or someone could have bought a piece of land for $1,500 and it'd be worth millions today.
Oh, hands down, it'd be worth millions because every area, you know, has, like I said, something to give, and it's great. No matter where you are, there's not a bad spot out there. So whether it is you plan on renting it out or you plan on living there part-time or you plan on living there full-time, I mean, you'd hit a home run.
Yeah. So let's get a little description of when we talked, you gave kind of the road tour or the layout of the land. You want to go ahead and give our listeners the layout of the land of what Door County would be?
Sure. Well, as everyone knows, it's a peninsula in the northeast portion of Wisconsin. It's like a left thumb that sticks out. You know, it juts out into Lake Michigan, and it's as far as distance goes, it's about 45 minutes from Green Bay, 2.5 hours from Milwaukee, and then with me door to door being in Chicago, it's 272 miles, and depending on how fast you're going, you can get there between 4.5 hours. You know, and the trip itself isn't bad. You know, like I said, we have the 5 kids; they're used to it. You know, and they've been going up there since they were babies, and you know, it's you got to play it accordingly with kids. You know, you're definitely going to have a bathroom stop if you got 5 kids. And if you have babies, they're going to need, you know, their stops to freshen themselves up as well. So there are plenty of places to stop along the way. And what we normally do is we stop in 2 rivers. You know, and 2 rivers isn't that far out. You know, it's past the halfway point. And, you know, we just get gas and kids get a little snack at the gas station, use the restroom, and back on our way. I mean, we are in and out in about 15 minutes. We've got it down to a science now. But the other thing we'll do is, you know, we have stuff for kids doing in the car. They'll draw, they'll, you know, listen to their music. You know, everyone's got their own little headphones and everything. And sometimes I'll play a game. Sometimes they like playing this game where there's a lot of American flags on the way up there, you know, on 43, going all the way up to the peninsula, it's actually a great game that they play. They count all the big flags on the way up. And there is a flag actually right off of 43 when you're going through Sheboygan It's actually the biggest flag in the entire world, the biggest American flag in the entire world. So it's actually a really, really inspiring thing to see, at least for me, being a veteran. And then, the kids are they're awestruck by the size of this thing. It's a 400-foot pole. I think it's like 70 by 140 is the flag. So the stars are like 3 feet in diameter.
That's awesome.
So it is a sight to see when you're driving up there, and they know when they get to that point, that's about halfway for them. We've made that kind of the unofficial halfway point, and depending on where you're coming from in the city, that it's pretty close to halfway. But they count the big flags all the way up to Sturgeon Bay. So when they get to Sturgeon Bay, they know they're going to have one more flag when they go over the bridge, and we're home. So
cool.
But yeah, it's an easy ride. It's a nice ride. If you get caught listening to music or something like I have a few times, and you're not paying attention, you will drive right past off of 43. You'll drive right past 57, and you will end up in Green Bay. So,
oh man, all those Packer fans, I tell you.
Oh, you know what? It's not the Packer fans that worry me. It's my timeline. I got to get up there. I want to enjoy myself. So you got to do a quick little turnaround in Green Bay, and there's not an exit at every turn. So, yeah, if you miss that, you're going to be driving a couple miles down the road. So, but yeah, it's a fun, easy ride.
Cool. So when you get to Sturgeon Bay, I remember you were saying that was the unofficial crossing into Door County.
Yeah.
And so that road is, if I'm not mistaken, that's 47 that goes over?
So you have 43 turns into 57, and you go over 57. The bridge at 57, and then it turns into, it splits again, and you have 42 and 57. Those are the two main roads. One will go on the Bay side, and then one will be on the 57 will be on the Michigan side. So those are the two main drags that'll get you around the entire peninsula. And if you get lost up there, you're gonna end up at either the Bay side or the Lake side. You can find your way. So
yeah, there's not much room to go. You're gonna run. You're gonna want to run in one way or another.
Right.
Now when we break down Door County, I mean, we're talking about an entire county. There's obviously many different towns throughout here. And what, for your opinion, what would be what would be the top 3 attraction or towns that draw the most attraction to them?
I mean, like I said, every town is a gem up there. But as far as things going on for my family, we've always been partial to Sister Bay. That's where our family has always gone. And Sister Bay over the years, like I said, it's centrally located, so you can go any which way on the peninsula. And they've done a lot up there. They redid the beach. The marina is beautiful. A lot of new restaurants. They actually just built a hotel called The Door up there. And, that's going to bring a lot more people in to enjoy everything. The restaurants have gotten nicer up there. There's a concert venue. There's a little stage right there on the lakefront. They have live concerts all the time. Just bring out a lawn chair, pop it right down. You go to Husby's, you grab something to eat there, and try your luck. Throw a quarter up on the take a quarter, wrap it up with a thumbtack, and attach to $1. Try to throw it up on the ceiling.
Huh?
Yeah. Oh yeah. It's a ridiculously fun thing to do, and all the money is actually donated at the end of the year if you actually get the thing stuck up there, which my kids are ridiculously good at, and it's costing me a ton of money. But
oh man,
it goes to a good cause, which is fine. Whatever the cause is that year, it's a good cause. But yeah, so we've been partial to Sister Bay, and then when we got a little too big to be in the condo, we moved out to Ellison Bay, where I love that place. It's quiet. Not a lot of people go further than Sister Bay just because, that's the party town. That's where everyone wants to be. And then you get a little more rural when you get past there, which, for me, it's great. I like being outdoors. I like the quiet, and again, you're not far from anything at any time, especially if you know the back roads. You can go right around town if you need to get somewhere else and it's crowded, if there's an event going on, and there's always something going on, no matter what season you're in. Everybody, if you can't find something to do in Door County, you're not looking hard enough. But so Ellison Bay is where we stay now, nice and quiet. There's two places we stay in particular, and we're not going to change a thing because it's a good thing we have going.
Now, when you stay by Ellison Bay, are you closer to the tip of the peninsula, or are you more further south towards where Sturgeon Bay would be?
No, we're actually further north in the peninsula.
Okay.
Yeah, we're actually closer to the tip, right by Gills Rock and Raleigh's Bay and stuff. And so, like I said, it's a little more rural out there. There's less people, and I love waking up in the morning, hopping on my bike, riding it around. I don't have to worry about seeing a soul. And then I'll stop over at the coffee shop. There's a couple that I stop at, but I'll usually kind of wander into Kick Ash, it's called. It's right by the house, and grab a cup of coffee, relax for a few more minutes, hop on the bike, and ride back to the house. And
cool.
By that time, the kids are usually running around crazy, and the wife's ready to go, and we'll get on with our day, doing whatever we're gonna do.
Awesome. Well, yeah, let's get into doing, man. So
let's get into
yeah. So
plenty.
So if you had to give a recommendation in Door County for 3 restaurants, doesn't matter, it could be any style restaurant, but if this was you given, let's say I'm coming up there, you want me to check out places, what are 3 places you'd send me?
All right. So I wrote this down. I didn't know exactly how many places we were going to talk about, so I wrote this down. I broke it down in kids and family restaurants, and then restaurants for adults and stuff. But you can't.
Hey man,
really,
whatever you got.
You can't really just pick one, because I do have a lot of favorites up there.
Okay.
But there are a few that stand out a little more than others, to me at least. And I know my wife's got a different opinion. My kids have different opinions about it, and it's hard to hit all these places when you go up once or twice a year. But I'll give my top 3 and a couple of honorable mentions, that the kids wanted me to recommend and the wife wanted me to shout out. So
fire away, buddy.
My absolute favorite restaurant, hands down, and this is number 1 without a doubt. It's actually in Ellison Bay, right by where we stay, as a matter of fact. And we didn't know it, because where we would drive down Lakeview and take a left on Mink River. A couple of years go by, and one of my friends that lives up there says, "Hey, did you try the Wickman House?" I said, "Oh, where's that at? I've never heard of it." And every year you go up, you find something new, no matter how long you've been up there. So she says to me, "Well, the Wickman House is right off of Mink River. It's just past Lakeview." I said, "Well, hold on a minute. I stay up there." She goes, "Well, you don't know it?" And I was like, "No, what are you talking about?" So going down Lakeview, I took a right instead of a left, and sure enough, there it was, half a block away from where we were. Like, oh, all right. Well, if I would have turned right, I'd have seen this thing probably years ago. So the wife and I got a night out away from the kids. We have my aunt and uncle live up there a good portion of the year, so they decided to watch the kids. And it was probably the freshest dinner that I have ever had. The atmosphere was wonderful. You could literally watch, your server just go out and pick whatever you're eating out of their garden that they have in the back. But everything is locally grown. It's farm to table out there, and a lot of places are. But for an adult night out or a nicer dinner, just going to the Wickman house tops everything for me. And you can bring kids there too. It's a fun place to bring kids, even because everything is geared towards family, no matter where you go. So everything is okay for kids to go to.
Okay.
So,
That's
but
good to hear.
Yeah, number two, I this was hard. This was hard for me because my kids were throwing a lot of stuff at me. So I'll give you one of their absolute favorites that it attracts a lot of people. Al Johnson's.
Al Johnson's.
Yeah.
Yep. That's the goats on the roof, right?
That is the goats on the roof.
Right.
It's got great Swedish pancakes. It's got homemade Swedish meatballs, but everybody goes to see the goats, and then they stay for the food after. Because 9 times out of 10, if you do not get there early, you are in a long line of people. There's no reservations, so get there early if you want to go. And it's worth it. It's worth it. Kids get to see the goats on the roof and everything, and their breakfast is really, really good. I enjoy pretty much everything on that menu. So yeah, that's in Sister Bay. You can't miss it when you get in there. The architecture. There's a lot of Scandinavian and influence, Scandinavian, Belgian influence up there. There's been a lot of hands over the years, from every nation in the world to help build Door County to what it is. But there's a ton of Belgian and Scandinavian influence that you're going to see up there, and a lot of it is geared towards that. And then a lot of the natives are, still from their homeland up there coming to work. So you hear a bunch of different accents and everything, but everyone, no matter where you are in the peninsula, is as polite as can be, and they are the nicest people in the world.
Pat, do you think when they came over, if it was long ago, do you think they could have had very good use of the Pelican cases that are out nowadays when they're traveling from across the sea to here to settle in Door County? So, all right, when Door County was being settled, and all those loggers and fishermen and mariners decided to come up, absolutely, 100%, that would have been right up their alley. But yeah, they would have loved them. Guys, for all your travel protection, check out Pelican at pelicancases.com. They are the best protection out there. Protect your cameras, protect your electronics, protect anything that could get damaged that you don't want damaged. You got to check out Pelican Cases. Not only do they do the cases, they do tumblers. They do their ruck cases, which are awesome. Just grab on the go. They also make phone cases too. So if you guys are in the market for very good protection from electronics to even your most precious memories, check out Pelican Cases. So Al Johnson's and the Scandinavians and the goats, they definitely should check out Pelican. But you had mentioned something too about Al Johnson's when we were talking earlier about their restored beer garden. Want to elaborate on that a little bit? Yeah. So Al Johnson's just used to be the restaurant, and they would have a little gift shop, and you could buy some knickknacks in there, some jams and stuff like that even. But what they've actually done is they have expanded, and they made a giant beer garden. And it is, I always mess up the name, it's Starborough, I think it is. Regardless of the name, you can't miss it. It's literally right next to Al Johnson's. And they got a nice bar out there. They have lawn games. They have lawn chairs. You can walk right in from the street, and you can grab a drink, relax a little bit. You can watch people parasailing out in the, out on the lake. And everything. There's a lot to do right across the street in the marina too. So, yeah. But who's not afraid of heights and who's going to do that? You know what? You and your lovely bride will enjoy it, I'm sure. I think she's going to be landlocked for that one. You have fun up there, my friend. That's right. I can't get my wife up there either. She would be waving me.
But yeah, so they have the beer garden and everything. And again, something's always going on. There could be a concert being played in there. There could be a concert across the street. You're going to hear the music. There could be a concert down the road. That place, Husby's, I was telling you about. Husby's is attached to this place called The Garage, which is their beer garden. They have
That's it. Yes.
So no matter where you're at, you're going to hear live music. And it's always fun to hear live music, especially in an area where you're just there to relax. It never gets too loud. It never goes too late. Like I said, they have a very good system of how things work up there, and it's geared toward everyone having a good time.
Good.
And again, another one of those things that appeals to not just adults going to enjoy it, but families that, I don't want this music blaring way too loud, way too late. They have that noise ordinance, and, they abide by it, and everyone's happy. So
good.
And they actually just built a gift shop on the other end of the beer garden now. So if you're feeling like you want something from Al Johnson's, you can walk right into the gift shop too. So
cool. Would you say Al Johnson's is becoming like what? Are you familiar with Chip and Joanna Gaines from Fixer Upper?
I do know who they are. I have sat through plenty of those shows. Chip is one of my heroes.
Chip is my spirit animal, literally. But yeah, they it's like they've taken over Waco, and now they just built a they started off with like just a little shop. Now they have a whole entire complex next to the silos where they have like a wiffle ball court and shops and everything. It almost sounds like Al Johnson's is the Magnolia of Door County.
Right. It's literally right in the heart of Sister Bay.
Yep.
It's right in the heart of Sister Bay. And if you say Al Johnson's, everyone knows it. Everyone knows it.
So what's your number 3?
Number 3. All right. So number 3. Okay. So number 3 was tough. So I decided to split it into 2 categories. All right. I decided to split it into, a place to sit down and eat, and then dessert. So,
all right.
Because you can't eat at both places. But the Sister Bay Bowl is my number 3 for dining. And it's a casual supper club and a bowling alley is what it is. And, we have a saying in our family. It's like, when people ask us, oh, where to go? Well, what do you want to eat? Oh, I'm looking for steak. All right, well, if you want steak, go to the bowling alley. Well, what about good fish? Well, if you want good fish, get some perch over at the bowling alley. Well, what about pizza? We'll get pizza at the bowling alley. It's great. What about bowling? Go to the bowling alley.
Oh, man.
The bowling alley is a catch-all. If you want something and it's laid back and relaxed and that's what you're looking for, the bowling alley has what you need. And while you're waiting to go to the supper club there, grab a drink at the bar and bowl a few frames with the kids.
There you go.
Yeah. So yeah, that's my number 3. And my uncle prides himself on saying that the bowling alley has had the best steak in prime rib in all of Door County for over 30 years. So he prides himself on that.
I might have to change my plans to the English Inn and go to the Sister Bay Bowl.
By all means, go to the English Inn as well. I mean, it's another great supper club to go to. And that place you can't miss. There's 2 knights holding torches out in front that lights the night sky up right there when you're coming out of Fish Creek. So that's another great place. Didn't make my list just because I had to kind of condense everything down. But the English Inn is where my grandparents and great aunts and uncles, that was their night out. That's where they always went, the English Inn.
Cool. You said this was split, so you still have your other half to go here.
So when you go out to dinner, you have a good meal, you're enjoying yourselves, and if you have kids, you want dessert. And ice cream is, great for everybody. Everybody likes ice cream, except for my oldest son. He doesn't like ice cream for some reason. That's okay. We always find him something else. But we make our way to Wilson's down in Ephraim if we want to catch a good sunset, and you can, eat at Wilson's too if you want to make it a night out and have dinner there and then get ice cream. But we'll go eat and then we'll get dessert at Wilson's. We'll get the ice cream, go across the street, and then we'll watch the sunset. That's been a family tradition of ours since I was a kid. And then there is another ice cream shop to top the evening, that we'll go to, and it is the Door County Ice Cream Factory and Sandwich Shop.
Okay.
We just call it the ice cream shop because we know the difference between Wilson's and the ice cream shop. And my daughter always makes it a point to tell us she needs to get her blue ice cream, and they have a Blue Moon ice cream at the shop. So, and that's what she means. She that is her deal. And if she leaves that peninsula without it, she is not a happy camper.
That's a long car ride home.
That is a very long car ride home, extremely long. So, but those are the things we really enjoy doing with the kids. That's what they look forward to. And we look forward to them being excited about going up there and seeing that stuff. So we make it a point to stop at those places. And we don't always do both, but we tell them, hey, we're going to go to Wilson's tonight and we're going to go watch the sunset. Or, hey, we're going to go to the shop tonight and you guys are going to get your Blue Moon, okay? And, it's something that I really enjoyed as a kid, and I hope my kids enjoy it, and maybe they'll come up, when they have kids, and pass that tradition on themselves, and that's what it is to me. It's more of a fun family tradition than it is anything else. So I don't even eat ice cream. So I'm like,
yeah, it's one of those once in a while things. I'm with your son. I'd rather find something else, but I'll have it once in a while.
Yeah, it's the memories that I'm looking for.
Oh yeah,
So,
absolutely.
But that takes care of dessert for me. And like I said, there's a bunch of honorable mentions I can give you. Like JJ La Puerta's is a fun place to go. It's Mexican and seafood, and that's right on the water. What else you got? The Harbor Fish Market in Bailey's Harbor. And a lot of people forget about Bailey's Harbor because it's on the other side of the peninsula.
Yeah.
You have the Bay side, the Green Bay side, and then you have the Michigan side. This is on the Michigan side. So people forget about it, so it's not terribly crowded out there. And so Harbor Fish Market is another honorable mention. And then I would be I'd be remiss not to mention the Boathouse in Sister Bay. Has my wife's absolute favorite lobster rolls.
Okay. Oh man.
So and this is a lady who went out of her way to buy herself a hooded sweatshirt out there because she loved that place so much. So, yeah, she said she wants to bring her lobster roll home with her, so she bought the sweatshirt. So.
We're big fans. I don't know if you've seen the food truck around here in Chicago, but it's called the Happy Crab, and
no, I haven't.
It's a food truck, and they usually come down south where I'm at south. They'll usually go to a brewery called One Allegiance every couple months. They'll make their way there, but they get all their the lobster imported from Maine. And you get awesome lobster roll sandwich, and then if you want it spicy, they call it the Angry Crab.
That's a good catchy name for it.
Yeah, cool. Well, that's actually kind of something to keep in mind because we both love the lobster.
Yeah,
but
it's a great place. It's right across the street from, again, the marina right there. So yeah,
I have to pick your brain on something though, Pat.
You'll go right on.
So okay. Traditionally, and I know this from going to Wisconsin, and everything else, but I was kind of thrown off on something. So Fridays are always fish fries. You have your fish fry Fridays. But can you please explain to me what a fish boil is versus a fish fry?
Okay, so boil and fry. You know, two different things right there. Two different ways to cook up the fish. Which I'm glad you brought this up because I would have forgotten. The fish boils are all over the place in Door County, and it's another time-honored thing that my family does. It's an event. It's an event, you know, and you got to reserve time to go to some of these events, and they're all up and down the peninsula. And one of the cool things because we go to the White Gull Inn, it's in Fish Creek. So one of the cool things that they do is, you know, they'll have a big pot, and they'll have fish in this giant colander, and they'll have a fire cooking underneath it, you know, and then right when it's getting ready to boil over, they take some kerosene, they throw some kerosene right on the fire and put a nice show on for everybody, and everyone oohs and ahs, and you know, everything boils over. They take a giant wood stick, two guys feed it right through the handles of the strainer, and they pull out the whitefish, and they get ready to serve them up. You know, and you're literally watching your food get boiled in front of you. You know, and they make it fun for everyone to see, and it's not everyone's cup of tea, but it's an experience to go to. Just one of these fish boils and everything. So they're not terribly different from fish fries. It's the same concept, but the show that they put on is what I like, you know.
Cool.
And it used to be, I said, back in the 80s, it used to be just an area with a bunch of gravel on the ground, nothing fancy, and a fire and the pot. That was it. You know, and two guys came out, threw some kerosene on it, and they saw how much everyone enjoyed it. From there, they expanded, and now the whole area is, you know, it's all done up real nice, and they have a nice little walkway so you can walk around the whole thing. And, you know, there's safety things where you can't get too close and everything. That's common sense stuff, or at least it should be common sense stuff.
Right.
Fire is hot. But you always have those people that like pushing the envelope a little bit and want to get a little too close. But yeah, so they've made it a whole deal now, and it's a bunch of different places. So everyone's got their little favorite place in Fish Creek that they like doing the fish boils at, and you know, ours is the White Gull Inn.
Cool.
I hope that explains something.
Yeah, no, it does, because you know you don't, you know, typically when you, I mean, I think of boiling fish. Okay, you just get a pot and you boil, but you know, seeing that, and that's what actually triggered my curiosity. Was I saw pictures of the, you know, of them throwing that, now that you said it was kerosene, that there was something where this entire black kettle was just engulfed after, you know, where so I wanted to ask you about it. It was a little bit different than just your, you know, standard, you know, put a pot and boil fish in it, you know.
Yeah, it's fun. It's fun, and
cool.
You know, that's another thing that it's a good family tradition that we have, and I know other families in the area have too. So,
nice.
No.
So let's actually jump over. Let's talk a little bit about the breweries that are there in Door County.
Sure, the breweries. All right, what you want to know about the breweries? Because I got two on the radar for you.
All right, yeah, let's shoot them off. Which breweries are they?
So you have One Barrel Brewery in Egg Harbor. And then the other one, it's a newer one, again in Sister Bay. You see how everyone's kind of attracted to Sister Bay. But it's called Peach Barn. You know, and you will see a lot of the, you know, local vendors in the area are now carrying, you know, One Barrel stuff, and then starting to see Peach Barn, everything, and you know, it's a nice thing that, again, the whole peninsula supports one another locally. You know, and my wife raves about One Barrel. You know, she's anything you see One Barrel, grab it. You know, see if you can grab this from One Barrel. And now my aunt's all talking about Peach Barn, you know, because they live right there in Sister Bay. So, yeah, so they're the two. They're the two that are getting a lot of attention right now. You know, as far as being a big hit with everyone that comes in.
Now, there was one more that when I was going through stuff, and I don't know if it's still there or not. Maybe you can elaborate on it. Shipwrecked?
Okay, yeah, Shipwrecked. Yeah, that's in Egg Harbor. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
That one looks pretty cool. It's a pirate-themed brewery.
Yeah, so Shipwrecked, it's yeah, and that's what it is. It's a good place to eat and everything like that too, and they got good drinks and cocktails and whatnot. And when you go down there, you cannot miss it. It's this giant place right when you get into Egg Harbor, everything, and then before you get into Egg Harbor, there's actually an old silo and that thing has been there forever. There's an old silo, and it has the captain from Shipwrecked painted on it.
Oh, cool.
So you're not going to miss that when you're coming in. So
cool.
Yeah, Shipwrecked is actually a very good place to go.
I'll definitely, yeah, that's on our radar too.
Yeah, but then you could go right down the block and go to Grumpy's and get some ice cream.
Cool. Now, we were talking beforehand with the show, but the wineries and vineyards that are in the area.
So yeah, wineries. So I'm not sure if you're aware of the cherries are a big deal up in Door County.
Okay, so yeah, I saw something about it, and it kind of makes sense because if you look where what would be Leelanau County and Grand Traverse and in that area, there's a bunch of cherry farms, and all it is directly mirrored across Lake Michigan in Door County. So when we had talked about that cherries were there, it only made sense. It's almost the same geographical region, just across the lake from each other.
Across the lake, yeah. So, yeah, cherries is their big thing. I mean, it is huge. I think Door County is one of the biggest, if not the biggest, exporter in cherries in the entire nation. So everything is geared toward cherries, and so is some of their wines. They have cherry wines and other fruit wines and stuff, but a lot of stuff is geared towards cherries.
Okay.
So every winery that you'll go to will have some sort of cherry wine, and the three that I'll talk about real quick, because I am no wine connoisseur, but I'm going off of what my family has told me and what some friends that live up there have told me, that the places to go are Stone's Throw and Bailey's Harbor. That's one place to go. And then in Sturgeon Bay, you have Simon Creek. And then there's another one called 1211. That's brand new. And guess where that one's located?
Sisters Bay.
You are 100% right.
Hey, who's been paying attention this whole time?
Someone's been listening. So, but those are the three that have been recommended by the people that I know and love. So I trust them.
Cool. Yeah, well, with us staying because we're staying in Sturgeon Bay, ironically at a place called Cherry Hill, the golf course.
Surprise. Yeah, Cherry Hill Golf Course. Yeah, that it's funny. It's funny you mentioned golf right there. If when going up there, because I know you're a big fisher, big fisherman. And Door County, it's great fishing up there. I don't know if you know, Bassmasters actually, kind of dubbed Sturgeon Bay as one of the best places to fish.
Yep.
So you're smallmouth bass. Yep, for smallmouth bass. That is absolutely correct. And then you can go up and down, the lakeside or the bayside. You got great fishing up there. You do, trout, walleye, pike, whitefish, salmon, perch. Those are kind of your featured fish that you have up there, as well as sturgeon.
Yeah.
So good fishing up there. But if you're not the outdoorsman, and a lot of people aren't, that's okay. I know my wife and I don't see eye to eye on going outside together all the time. She specifically bought a shirt that says indoorsy and wears it all the time just to remind me. But yeah, there's always something for someone to do up there, like we talked about, and golf is one of them. They have a bunch of golf courses up there, and one of the best views you can get in Door County is actually at Peninsula State Park's golf course. They have the front nine. Front nine is a golf course. It's very nice, maintained real well. On the back nine, you're going up the bluffs, and
sweet.
It's beautiful, and on one of the holes you can see out over everything. You could see over Ephraim. You can see down in the Sister Bay on a clear day. It's absolutely gorgeous. I will spend all day losing a whole bag of balls just to look at that. I have a rule with my son when we play. If it's off the fairway, I'm not going to get it. What I want to see is that view. It's worth every bit of losing every ball in my bag.
You're following the handbook here.
I'm following the handbook. As I've been up there plenty enough, I should probably have that thing memorized. So, but yeah, there's something for everybody. Golf's
getting into that something for everybody. That was the next thing I wanted to talk to you about. I know we were talking about wineries, vineyards. I don't think there's too many distilleries or spirit make. I think there's probably if they are, it's kind of like rogue. So I'll kind of skip over that part. But going to activities for everybody else, that's a huge thing because we were talking about there's so much to do. So let's kind of break this down a little bit. We already mentioned golf, but let's. You know what? One thing I did discover with you is how many state parks and what activities there are to do at these state parks. So let's kind of break that down a little bit.
So Potawatomi State Park up there, just because, and the name Potawatomi is because the Potawatomi tribe. That's where they were. That's where they live, and they were pretty much the first settlers up there. And so Potawatomi State Park, you have. Again, like every state park, beautiful. If you can't find something in there that you enjoy and that you like, you're not looking hard enough. Probably looking at your phone. Don't look at your phone. Put your phone down. Put your phone down to go into these places. So Potawatomi, beautiful. That's right in Sturgeon when you get up there, and then further up in Fish Creek, one of the places that I love to bike is Peninsula State Park, right there in Fish Creek, and not too far from the golf course and everything. So I'll ride in, from the road, hit the dirt bike trails, and then they have regular gravel trails that you can hike down, that you can bike on. You can actually rent bikes across the street at the bike shop that they have. And when you're done, you can pop right out. You can grab a pizza at the Wild Tomato, or you can grab a bite to eat at Julie's right there. It's, or again, if you're in the mood for ice cream, which is another great place to go, is Not Licked Yet. You get some frozen custard.
Okay.
There. Another great place to bring kids. My kids absolutely love it down there. You go down right in a little hill and everything, and they have a little play lot, and then the parents can sit by a little creek that runs through there into the state park. And one of the big attractions that they used to have was Eagle Tower at Peninsula State Park. So Eagle Tower, I forget how many feet it went up in the air, but you were climbing this giant tower. And before they took it down, because it needed a lot of maintenance and repairs and everything, I remember as a kid going up there, and you could feel it just swaying back and forth a little bit. And I will never forget this. This woman that was coming up there, she was terrified of heights, and she wanted to get over her fear of heights, and she picked Eagle Tower to break her of that. And God bless her for it. She made it all the way to the top. I mean, you can see her nail marks into the railings going up, but she made it all the way to the top. And when she made it to the top, everyone applauded her and everything, and she waved at everyone, smiled, and said, "Okay, we can go down now." So, and like I said, since then they've taken it down because it needed a lot of repairs. But what they have actually just done, and I have not been on there yet, they have actually, I believe, there is an ascending path now. There's an ascending path now, and I don't know exactly how long that path is, but again, you keep ascending up the bluffs and you get really up high and you can see that beautiful view of Door County.
Cool.
So you can get another shot. If you don't go golfing, you can go up there on that path where Eagle's Nest used to be, or where Eagle Tower used to be, and get another great view of Door County.
Awesome.
And then further up the peninsula, where I like going just to hang out and gather my thoughts, because it's in Ellison Bay, and I love everything about Ellison Bay, of how quiet and peaceful it is up there, is Newport State Park. And a lot of people forget about it because it is that far up the peninsula. So again, another little hidden gem. You got your walking paths, you got the lake on one side. It is probably one of the most peaceful hikes that I take up there. Because again, people will stop themselves short, and if they stop themselves short, they're kind of cheating themselves out of what's further up the peninsula. So I try and tell people, no, go a little bit further, go all the way to the end, and if you get all the way to the end, you'll come to, the ferry. So what the ferry does, ferry brings you out to Washington Island, which is another thing people, they know about, but again, it's far enough to the point where they'll make a day out of it, and you have to, because it is up there a little bit, and Washington Island itself is not, it's not a state park, it's a giant island, and you take the ferry across, you go through the waterway is called Death's Door, and it's an interesting history how that name came about, which is how Door County actually got its name, is because of Death's Door. You had the Potawatomi natives that lived up there, and then you had the French explorers that came up there, and there was a lot of shipwrecks coming through that treacherous waterway, as well as tribal members drowning and stuff in canoes. It was it was a shaky waterway to go through, and you can take shipwreck tours and everything like that, and then you get the history of it and find out why Door County is called Door County, and it's because it is Death's Door. And the French explorers, when they came, actually named it Port de Morte, which is translated to Death's Door.
Yeah.
So,
there's some wicked history.
Yeah, wicked history right there.
Yeah.
One of the first explorers is Jean Nicolet. You'll see Nicolet Bay right there. He's the one that set up the trading post in Green Bay. He was actually looking for a passage through to China, believe it or not.
Hey, you got a long way to go, buddy.
He was looking for China, and he found Green Bay.
Yeah, you might as well start digging at that point.
So, but back up to the north end of the peninsula. One of my traditions is I go biking on Washington Island the last day that we're there. So whenever we're leaving, I hop on the ferry, I cross Death's Door, and I go over to Washington Island, and I bike the island. The island is not very big. I'll do about 20 miles, but I have a halfway point for another place. If you get to Washington Island, you could check out. I will go from one harbor to another, and my halfway point is actually the Jackson Harbor Cafe, or Jackson Harbor Soup, and it's a little it's a little soup cafe, and I'll do my 10 miles out to there, grab a cup of chowder, get some water, and 10 miles back, hop on the ferry, and go home. Now that's my little tradition that I have out there. This year, I didn't have enough time, and I really wanted to. They had moped rentals.
Okay, yeah, I do remember you telling me about that.
Yeah, so next year I'm going to make it a point. I'm going to instead of biking the island, I may moped the island. I'll probably get around it a little bit quicker, but it was just something I was like, you know what? That'd be really fun to do. So again, find something new every year. And then you start setting it up for next year. So that's one of the things I'm probably going to do next year.
So one thing that I wanted to bring up to you is the caves, because that's one thing I'm kind of excited about.
Cave Point, yes. If you get a chance to get out to Cave Point, do it. It's great. And then I know you and I talked about kayaking too. When you get out on the water, kayak, you can go around the bluffs and everything on those tours, and there's some caves out there you can wander around in, but you gotta wait till that water's a little bit calmer than some days, because weather and the water dictate if you can go out or not. So it's
absolutely. We were blessed. I was out Monday, and it was such a calm day down by our end of Lake Michigan, where where I was out. I started my paddle about 8:00 in the morning, and I wanted to go all the way to where like the north end of Oak Street is, by the north end of the playpen, that rock wall over there, and that holds some good smallmouth over there too. But it was blocked off by our CPD Marine unit because they were filming for Chicago Fire over there. They had a boat flipped over, all this debris in the water. I was like, oh, that's kind of cool to see. But I actually wound up doing 7 miles on the kayak on Lake Michigan, just kind of going up the break wall by the lighthouse, back around the lighthouse, back down that break wall, back to Monroe Harbor, and all the way around the planetarium again, back to the beach. It was a good paddle, but I wound up catching 6 smallmouth that day, and I also got fried to a crisp. I am just now the sting is gone, but I have.
I know how that goes. I get my Irish tan every year.
I have the most horrible freaking tan right now because I had my PFD on, and so you have where the straps were. You have 2 lines here, and then along the sides where the straps are, you have those. So I look like a freaking checkered flag for the most part when you lift up my shirt. And I'm just getting that sting out of my shoulders. We had that still the other day, and I put on my SCBA, I put on my shoulders like, oh man, this sucks.
I've been there. And actually, it was from Door County Sun. We took the pontoon out, went out on the lake. Someone didn't get his shoulders as good as he thought he did, and when we get home, I wasn't completely all healed up yet, and I had to put that pack on. It was murder, and especially now I'm using the pike pole. That's all I'm doing is my shoulders are getting torn up. It was
I thank God we didn't have to do much work. I was on truck 29, but your pike pole, your maul, and your hand can. You're just like, oh, this is stiff.
Every bit of movement reminds you gotta wear some sunscreen every now and again.
Yep, because that one layer didn't do it. But enjoying that time out on Lake Michigan, using my Yak Gadget products, man, that thing's awesome. Hopefully, when I go up there, I could kind of show some people in the kayaking business up there about some of the Yak Gadget products that we offer and that we probably sponsor here on the show. So I'm hoping to kind of do that up there too, because they make great track accessories for even for touring kayaks. And if there is something that needs to be innovative or done that's not done yet in the business, John will do it for you at Yak Gadget. John and Tom are great guys. So shout out to Yak Gadget. But let's keep this ball rolling, man. We're almost done here. But we're talking about the caves, but what is something that you have kids, you have your family, you have family traditions, but what's one thing that you would say is kind of a sentimental place that you would recommend families or couples or anyone really wanting to get the true grasp of what Door County is? What would you point them out to?
So every season, Door County has something going on. So it doesn't matter what time of year, you know, you whatever you're into, you like the fall, bring someone up there, your significant other or whoever, bring your family up there, enjoy all the leaves that are changing, you know, enjoy the crisp and cool air, stuff like that. I really enjoy that quite a bit. And if that's your thing, you know, nature is all around you, no matter what season. It's always beautiful up there. Even on your rainy days, it's nice. You know, that kind of stuff will take your breath away in the fall. And then there's also festivals and things that are going on. Like, you know, in the summer, we talked about, you know, you have concerts, you know, live theater, and outdoor theaters too. You know, it's theater under the stars. You know, you don't get that in areas, you know, major metropolitan areas all the time. You know, this is out in the woods, and it is, you just look above you, and sometimes the light on the stage is from the moon and the stars. You know, another place is actually, I have to mention this because you mentioned sentimental places. They still have a drive-in.
Oh, nice.
They still have a drive-in, the Skyway Theater, and they usually have 2 movies that are playing during the week. You know, but the drive-in is it's a good stroll down memory lane for a lot of people. You know, that's a great place to go. You know, I'm trying to think of what else. You know, we talked about the fall. They have, you know, runs and stuff in the fall. They have Pumpkin Fest in the fall, the Jack-o'-lantern days in Fish Creek. You know, these are all things that are geared towards, you know, individuals, couples, and families. And every season encompasses people getting together. You know, to me, it doesn't really matter when you go up, and it doesn't really matter what you do. Everything that you find up there, and again, you find something new every year. You're making a great memory, no matter who you're with. Even if you're by yourself, some of the best times that I've had they've been, you know, biking Washington Island or walking around in Newport State Park, or going a little bit further towards the, you know, cliffs on the bluffs that I should have been going. You know, you know, whatever hits home. You know, you can find it every season of the year in Door County. You know, people, you know, my wife loves Christmas, you know, and we haven't been up there in the winter yet. And we were going to go last year and check it out, but because of COVID and everything was, you know, shut down. And they actually have a bunch of Christmas festivals in each one of the towns. And, you know, you have Christmas by the Bay, and you have Capture the Christmas Spirit in Sister Bay. You know, my aunt and uncle tell us about these things. People are singing carols, they're drinking cocoa, and things you would see in those Hallmark Christmas movies.
Okay.
They literally exist, you know. You know, and they exist right there in Door County. You know, one of the things I can't wait to do with my boys is take them up to the pond hockey tournament that they have up there. You know, because that would mean a lot to me. I love the sport of hockey. You know, tried getting the kids into it, and each one of them can skate like I can. You know, you're picking yourself up more than scooting around on the ice. But again, that's something I want to share with them. You know, and I know other people want to share whatever memories they want to make with their family. And there is always something to do no matter what season. And it's going to sound like a plug for the website right here, but there is actually a website that you can go to where everything is laid out. They have tourism down to a science. And it's laid out by season, by month, by things to do, families, you know, couples, individuals. everything is there at the click of a button on your phone or computer, whatever you have. But yeah, winter is the season because that's the only season we haven't been up there is winter. Winter's the season we want to get up there and kind of check it out for ourselves, and maybe even spend New Year's there. In New Year's, they have the cherry drop. So
Okay.
just like New York has the ball,
Yeah.
right there in Sister Bay, right in front of Husby's, you have a giant cherry that is dropping. That's falling. So that's
cool.
that's their New Year's Eve. So if spending New Year's Eve, with people right there in Door County in the nice, cool air that the winter has to offer, God bless you for it, and make great memories.
Yeah.
That's what we like doing. And I know, like you said, being going up there for your honeymoon and whatnot. Yeah. These things are going to be with you forever, and that's why we still go up there generationally. It's
Cool.
It's a beautiful place.
Awesome. Hey, Pat, was that plug doorcounty.com?
Probably.
Okay.
It can be.
That's the one we were using to kind of filter and pick through.
That's the one that has everything itemized, right?
Yes.
That was the one. That's
doorcounty.com. Saying they have it down to science, man. That is spot on. And that's exciting about the making those memories, the sentimental moments, and looking at it again. I'm just anticipating what to expect, but I'm excited because I know a lot of those for me and Olivia, those will hold true to us. And I think once she listens to this podcast, because it's going to be released on Saturday, I'm going to be having a conversation about, we have to go here for the Fall Fest now. So thank you.
Well, hey, go to the Fall Fest, go to, the Jack-o'-lantern days. We took kids up there, the first annual Jack-o'-lantern days, and we had a ball. The kids got dressed up in their costumes and went trick-or-treating through Fish Creek and everything, and the whole town was in on it, and it was great. They had a Halloween parade. So,
oh man.
Yeah.
I'm very big on summer, and she's very big on fall. But now I like Christmas. But fall starts for her on Monday, so everything that's anything with summer is banished now. It is officially spooky
over?
season. Yes, it is spooky season.
Good. Halloween in our house is like Christmas.
Yeah,
it's like Christmas. I've turned all 5 of our kids into Halloween fanatics. Like I said, my wife is partial to Christmas. The kids, they like Christmas, but they love Halloween.
Nice. Well, Pat, that covers a lot of that covers everything we were looking at. For the podcast. I want to thank you for your time and for your knowledge. I mean, crap, you can't get anybody better to give you a guided tour throughout.
What? I appreciate you having me do this, Jay. I was really excited to do it, and
yeah,
I kind of feel a little bad because this is just it's the tip of the iceberg, really. I left out a lot of stuff, and the best thing, the best way to experience Door County is to go.
Yeah,
is to go up there and have your plan. Have your plan of things to do and things to see. If you go to go to doorcounty.com, like the website says, look at stuff that you want to do, but don't tie yourself down to doing those specific things.
Right.
There's always something fun that's gonna grab you. We had to make an extra trip this year to the go-karts because my son is already tall enough and old enough, but my daughter now, she just made the height and is old enough to ride the go-kart by herself. So you make those extra trips. They might not be, on your, daily plan or itinerary or whatever, but these things you can't plan them. No.
And that's one of the best pieces of advice as a traveler that you can give another person who's either getting into traveling or who even just if you travel enough and you get so caught up, that's a great reminder of what this is all about, why traveling is so much fun, and going to explore places and getting the best out of of what is there to offer. That's probably one of the most solid pieces of advice, man.
Yeah, I mean, it's a great place to go, and don't ever limit yourself to you have to do this, you have to do that.
Yeah.
Because sometimes you have something planned, you want to go to the beach, and hey, it's raining. What are we going to do? Hey, Door County is a very artsy place. Wonderful artists are up there, and there is a place called Hands On Art Studio. It is a couple of barns that were converted into a bunch of different studios. On rainy days, go make a piece of art. There are people in there that will teach you what to do, and you walk out, not walking out with a Picasso, but you're walking out with something that you made.
Right?
Walking out with something that you made. And again, I can't speak ill of Door County. It's one of my favorite places to go in the entire world.
Cool. Well, we're gonna flow into the last part of the segment. This is our one sip. Everybody knows the rule. So
yeah, I gotta hang on. I drink all my water. I gotta get a water.
But today, as you guys last episode, you guys saw. Let me lift up my mic here. We've been talking and promoting about Black Horizons here in Illinois and Willowbrook, but they are not going to be our guest beer tonight. We actually profiled them twice, but tonight, because we're in Wisconsin, I was just up in Wisconsin, I want to give you one of my best Wisconsin beers. And as you can see, it is New Glarus Moon Man. How much do I like it? Well, let's see if we could angle this. I have a Moon Man tin up there. Right in the corner right there. There we go. Right there. So it's reflective of it. But yeah, one sip. Everybody knows the rule. Moon Man. So here we go. This is presented to you by Rocktown Adventures here in Illinois. Gear up and head out. Check Rocktown out for all your adventure needs. All right. Just enough there. Cheers.
Cheers, brother. Ooh, that's good. Ooh.
Oh, yeah. All right. So with this New Glarus, this Moon Man, if you know, you know. Moon Man is, they call it No Coast Pale Ale. This is a very upfront. It's a very rich red. It's red. It has a lot of malty taste up front, but then it has a very smooth back going down, and it's very drinkable. It's one of those where I wouldn't say, go drink it all day. I mean, because you're going to get pretty good buzz if you drink, more than 3 off of these, but it's easy enough to drink. It's great. I'd say this is a great drinking with like dinners or lunches, but this is one to be had that's very if your palate's not used to harshness, I don't think you'd like it. But if you like that more bitter and harshness up front, definitely this is it. I'm giving this out of 5. This is a 4 1/4. 4 1/4 out of 5 for Moon Man. So cheers to Moon Man. All right, and that brings us to the end of the show. So Pat, again, I want to say thank you for being on the show. Anybody you want to give a shout out to, anybody that's listening that you want to say hi to, let it out, man.
You know what? Anyone and everyone that wants to go to Door County, I'm going to give a shout out to you, and especially want to give a shout out to my Door County crew, my family and friends that actually helped me, pick apart and navigate things that I wanted to talk about, and always a shout out to our first responders and our veterans.
Awesome. And being that you're a fellow vet or you're a veteran, thank you thank you for your service. And as a fireman, TYF, or whatever the fuck they say, thank you for your service. Yep.
I'll see you tomorrow.
Yeah, I'll see you tomorrow, dude. Yeah, well, I got to go to bed. We got to go to work, man. 4 a.m. rolls around way too fast.
Yes.
Oh, man. All right, guys.
I got to go sit on the couch with my wife and finish watching our show at Downton Abbey.
Oh, man.
I love me Downtown Abbey. It's great.
I'm going to go watch. No, I can't even watch Tom Skilling. I'm just going to go to bed.
That's probably what I should do. So,
yep.
Jerry, thanks again for having me. This was a blast.
Pat, it was awesome having you, man. Thank you. Guys, one last thing before closing. A formal announcement is coming. The Paddle and Fin tournament for this weekend for the 31st on the Fox River has been canceled. So if you're on Tourney X trying to find the tournament, it is no longer available. So the next tournament we're going to have is the tournament on Lake Erie. So get signed up for that, and we'll see you guys at that next tournament. And until next time, we'll see you on the other side. This has been Off the Water. Thanks for listening. Peace. Stay right there, Pat.
Thanks for tuning in to another killer episode on Paddle and Fin. Don't forget to go check out our website at paddle_and_fin.com. Don't forget to check out the YouTube channel at Paddle and Fin. If you got a question, comment, want to hear from a future guest on a future episode, feel free to email us at paddle_and_fin@gmail.com. Don't forget to follow us on social media at Paddle and Fin on Facebook and Instagram. Shout out to our show supporters, Angler. The Angler button and app just makes for a better time on the water and creates a virtual logbook for every fishing outing out on the water. Shout out to Rocktown Adventures, located in northern Illinois, for all your kayaking, camping, and hiking needs. Shout out to JigMasters Jigs. When in doubt, get the jig out. Go to jigmasters.com.
All right.